There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. A dream doesn't become reality through magic, it takes sweat, determination and hard work. Get mad, then get over it. It ain't as bad as you think. It will look better in the morning. Don't let your ego get too close to your position, so that if your position gets shot down, your ego doesn't go with it. Perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. Leadership is solving problems. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you have stopped leading them. They have either lost confidence that you can help or concluded you do not care. Either case is a failure of leadership. Success is the result of perfection, hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Bad news isn't wine. It doesn't improve with age. Surround yourself with people who take their work seriously, but not themselves, those who work hard and play hard. The commander in the field is always right and the rear echelon is wrong, unless proved otherwise. Diplomacy is listening to what the other guy needs. Preserving your own position, but listening to the other guy. You have to develop relationships with other people so when the tough times come, you can work together. Avoid having your ego so close to your position that when your position falls, your ego goes with it. The healthiest competition occurs when average people win by putting above average effort. I think whether you're having setbacks or not, the role of a leader is to always display a winning attitude. No battle plan survives contact with the enemy. 90% of my time is spent on 10% of the world. The chief condition on which life, health and vigor depend on, is action. It is by action that an organism develops its faculties, increases its energy, and attains the fulfillment of its destiny. Don't be afraid to challenge the pros, even in their own backyard. Organization charts and fancy titles count for next to nothing. Economy's got to get moving, we've got to get the unemployment rate down. That may be the defining issue of the campaign. Trump is a national disgrace and an international pariah. Indeed, we're strongest when the face of America isn't only a soldier carrying a gun but also a diplomat negotiating peace, a Peace Corps volunteer bringing clean water to a village, or a relief worker stepping off a cargo plane as floodwaters rise. You don't know what you can get away with until you try. Giving back involves a certain amount of giving up. If a leader doesn't convey passion and intensity, then there will be no passion and intensity within the organization and they'll start to fall down and get depressed. Experts often possess more data than judgment. Never neglect details. When everyone's mind is dulled or distracted, the leader must be doubly vigilant. Economy's got to get moving, we've got to get the unemployment rate down. That may be the defining issue of the campaign. Russia isn't going to start a war. They can't afford it. I think Mr. Putin can be dealt with if we stop screaming at him. You can work with the guy. You just have to know who he is. War should be the politics of last resort. And when we go to war, we should have a purpose that our people understand and support. Fit no stereotypes. Don't chase the latest management fads. The situation dictates which approach best accomplishes the team's mission. We need to understand that we as citizens and as a government in any community throughout this country have no more important obligation than to educate those who are going to replace us. I was born in Harlem, raised in the South Bronx, went to public school, got out of public college, went into the army, and then I just stuck with it. Today I can declare my hope and declare it from the bottom of my heart that we will eventually see the time when that number of nuclear weapons is down to zero and the world is a much better place. I try to be the same person I was yesterday. Our diplomacy and development budget is not just about reducing spending and finding efficiencies. We need a frank conversation about what we stand for as that shining city on a hill. And that conversation begins by acknowledging that we can't do it on the cheap. I don't think we handled the aftermath of the fall of Baghdad as well as we might have. But that's now history. In other words, don't expect to always be great. Disappointments, failures and setbacks are a normal part of the life cycle of a unit or a company, and what the leader has to do is constantly be up and say, we have a problem, let's go and get it. Trump just looks stupid trying to appeal to blacks and Latinos. Trump has no sense of shame. Politics is not beanbags. It's serious, tough stuff. It's a disgrace that we have millions of people who are uninsured. It's a disgrace that we have millions of people who are uninsured. Throughout my career, I learned plenty about war on the battlefield, but I learned even more about the importance of finding peace. And that is what the State Department and USAID do, prevent the wars that we can avoid so that we fight only the ones we must. I consider myself a moderate Republican. I have very, very moderate social views, and I'm pretty strong on defense matters. People have asked me, what would you have done if you hadn't gone into the Army? I'd say I'd probably be a bus driver. I don't know. Drones are just another weapon, and they turn out to be a very effective weapon that puts no American troops at risk, and I don't see why we shouldn't use them against identified enemy targets. The Army will take its lessons learned. They're excellent at looking into themselves and reflecting on what did we do right, what did we do wrong.